What is up, guys? Blue Sun JRPGs here, back with another video. This time talking about my 5 favorite, or the top 5 RPGs on the PlayStation 4. We know that the PlayStation consoles have always had amazing RPGs, and the PlayStation 4 is no exception. Here's a list, guys, just of my favorites. If you don't see your favorites, don't kill me in the comments. But number 5, of course, is Digimon Cybersleuth. What an amazing game, guys. If you guys are fans of Pokemon games, where you're going around collecting things, this is going to be the RPG for you. It's not as popular as some of the other RPGs on this list, but make no mistake about it, this game is truly amazing. And while I know there are other Digimon games, other Digimon RPGs, this is kind of the revival of that series. So I'd almost classify this as a very original concept for RPGs. It's original for me anyways. I never played any of the previous games. But this is one of the true new series on the PlayStation 4. Many of the great RPGs we got this year, or on this console, were basically sequels or remakes of other RPGs, which is fine and all, but it's great to see some new series as well. If you had to go over a checklist of all the things that make RPGs great, you'd probably say that Cybersleuth masters most of them, if not all of them. A great story? Checkmark. Great characters? Checkmark. Interesting gameplay mechanics? Checkmark. And on top of that, there's such a unique setting on this. Very few JRPGs are set in the modern world, and that's something that I found incredibly exciting to explore. Just a lot of other games don't do this, and I think they should. The 4th best RPG on the PlayStation 4 has got to be Nier Automata. I know some people are so pissed right now. A lot of people rate this game extremely highly. Some people would even put this game as number 1 on this list. But for me, it's just not there. I do think this is an exceptional game though. One of the things I will give this game incredible props for is that this game uses more types of combat than I've seen in any other game. One point you'll be going from traditional turn-based, then you'll be going over to like shmup, to real time. I mean, so many different combat styles in this game. It's an incredibly unique game, I'll say that. The story itself is pretty good too. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a bit predictable, but a good story nonetheless. In the characters, I mean, some of the most iconic characters in the PlayStation 4 came out for this. 2B alone was an absolutely amazing character, and probably the most popular character actually on the PlayStation 4. But moving on from that, if you had to point to one thing that really makes this game stand out from other RPGs, it has to be the graphics. What a beautiful game, guys. Other than maybe Final Fantasy 15, this is probably the prettiest game I played on the PlayStation 4. And that's saying something, because there are so many beautiful games. And this game is so well put together. I mean, you can see the production value all over the game. But for me, there's just something about this game that I couldn't put as high as other people have this game. I really enjoyed it. I really did. But I think Persona 5 came out like right after this, and I was just so looking forward to getting to Persona 5 that I was just at the end of this game I was like, I want this game to be over. And at the end of an RPG, you should never be wishing for a game to be over. So that's why it doesn't get any higher up on the list for me. But the 3rd best game of PlayStation 4 has to be Disgaea 5. I think a lot of people don't have this game that high, and it's a shame. This game has to be the preeminent preeminent strategy RPG on the system. Really, in the last, even, I guess, 5 years or so. I mean, only thing I would really even come close, I guess, would have to be Valkyria Chronicles. But what an amazing game, guys. I could see Valkyria Chronicles maybe passing this game up, but I did feel like this game had to be on the list, just for being such a unique game, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, one of the longest games on the list, too. I mean, I think this game was like 100-something hours. What an incredible game, guys. But the thing that really puts this game above a game like Nier Automata, above a game like Digimon Cybersleuth, has to be the writing. I'll say this about all the Disgaea games. The Disgaea games have the most incredible writing there is in any video game. I'll say that. RPG, I don't know, first-person shooter, sports game, whatever you want to say, whatever type of genre you want. The Disgaea series always has the best writing. This is probably the only game where you can not have voice actors and I can still laugh at something. That's incredible. That's incredible writing. I'll say that, guys. If you haven't played a Disgaea game, if you haven't played if you haven't played a strategy RPG, guys, you owe it to yourselves to pick this game up. I could not recommend any game on this list higher for RPG players out there. just because it is such a unique experience, and I wish more people would experience this stuff so that we can get more games like this. And it's so cheap, guys. It's like 10-15 bucks. I swear you will cherish every moment playing this game. The second best RPG on the PlayStation 4 has to be Final Fantasy 15. Come at me, guys. I know this game gets a lot of hate, but hear me out. This game is absolutely amazing as far as the graphics go. Absolutely spectacular. I've never seen a game like this, from Skyrim, which was amazing. I don't know, any other game you want doesn't come close to this game, in my opinion. The amount of time, the amount of effort that went into making this game is absolutely incredible. And while some of the characters, like Noctis, may not be everybody's favorite, I think this game did an exceptional job at creating a world that got people into this game, got people wanting to explore every single part of it. Even more than the first game on this list, this game created a world that was truly amazing for me. And that cannot be overstated. That's what RPGs are all about. It's about creating worlds that we want to explore, worlds we want to live in. And this game does that better than almost any game I've ever played, I'll say that. And the combat, I wanted this game so bad to be a turn-based combat game. There's not enough of those games out there right now. But you know what? I'll say that they did actually do a pretty good job with the combat style. It felt really good for the world that it was in. I couldn't have pictured this game. I just couldn't have pictured it as a turn-based game. It didn't feel like that to me. So, I'll give them props where it's due. They did do a good job, even though I did want to see the turn-based combat. I'm sure no one saw this coming. The greatest game on the PlayStation 4 and the greatest RPG of all time, in my opinion. Persona 5. What a game, guys. I think if you go down the list of things that make RPGs great. Story, this is one of the best stories in any RPGs I've ever played. Characters, this is some of the best characters of any game I've ever played. Only one or two of the characters I felt didn't belong. And then let's talk about the actual combat. People have forever said that turn-based combat is dead, but this game showed the whole world, and showed even people who weren't familiar with this type of combat, that this combat truly can be amazing. This modernized it. For that alone, this game has to be the #1 game. If that was the only thing this game did well, I would say that's the #1 game. But more than that, this game, for me, I never once felt like I was doing something that didn't belong in the game. For instance, leveling up the personas in this game, that felt like it was critical for my ability to beat the end boss. Where other games felt like, even some of the prior Persona games, I felt like I didn't have to level up some of those skills or some of those personas. But this game, it felt like it was part of the game. It didn't feel like it was an afterthought. It didn't feel like a side quest. I think it's pretty safe to say that I won't find another RPG on this console that I enjoy better, unless Persona 6 does come out. It just goes to show you what an amazing game this was, guys. I don't know a single person who plays RPGs who doesn't think this was the best game on the PlayStation 4. It truly was. But let's talk about some of the other great RPGs, because I know everybody's going to say, what about this game, what about that game? Of course, you have Ni no Kuni 2. It just came out. I'm only about halfway through with it, so I didn't feel like it was necessary or appropriate to put it on this list quite yet. The other games that I did enjoy, particularly for this console, were Tales of Vesperia. That was a very good game. And then the Tales of Zestiria game. A lot of people didn't like Zestiria as much as I did, but I thought they were both pretty solid games. A couple of other favorites for me were Odin Sphere Remake, and then as well Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. But let me know what you guys think. I'm sure you guys disagree with a bunch of these games. I'm sure you guys want to see Tales up there. I'm sure some of you guys want to see Ni no Kuni 2 up there, and some of you guys may want to see Cybersleuth 2 over Cybersleuth 1. But whatever you guys do like, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video, especially if you made it this far. Massive props to all you guys. If you do want to see more content, be sure to subscribe. Alright, thanks guys. Peace out.